All right, people. So, I think it's what, June 8th, 2019. It's the next day. Well, it's the same day because I just did a live this morning at 5:30 this morning, right? Reading the old books.
Yeah.
So what we're doing is we're gathering up some comfrey so I can stick them in some flower pots.
This is like a jungle.
Comfrey is actually it's right here. It's actually a medicinal plant, but you got to use it sparingly. It's right here. So before we do this, we're coming back. We're going to the walnut tree. Way over there. Hold on. Oh yeah. This is what the field looks like now. They're selling their what do you call it? These sweets. Right? And they're having some showing, so I suspect they're going to be building here pretty soon, causing a lot of havoc. You can see they tore down all the trees in here, people. Hold on a minute. Moving around too fast.
Hi, people.
What are we doing?
Nana's digging up a plant.
What is it called?
Clover?
Yep. The red clover.
The red clover.
Yeah. Because we can do what with these?
Make tea.
We can make tea. So we're going to, as we find them, we're going to dig them up. And we already got some growing in the yard. So we'll see if we can start a little red clover patch.
Right? And did you notice this place looks like a jungle now, people?
Yeah.
This is what a jungle looks like. Tall grass, everything.
Yeah. Well, actually, when Nana got you, what happened was, in the old days, this place was kind of this way. Here we go.
Yes.
Let's see.
I will see.
This place was kind of this way, right? Full of weeds. And you were scared, but not anymore. Okay, you can turn it off now. We'll just go to the next patch.
We'll just turn it off.
Same button. Okay. This is kind of like the good old days, people. You see? There we go. Is that red clover there? Is that what I'm seeing?
Yeah, that's red clover.
Yeah.
Right behind you.
There's one behind me too? Oh, there is. There it is, people. Do you see? And there's another one over there. So that's what we're doing right now. Hold on. I guess as long as we get the roots, we're okay.
Talk.
Huh?
Talk.
Oh. We're just getting these. Right?
Yeah.
There's another patch in here. Just as we find them, we're getting them.
Yep.
Leaving a trail behind. Right?
Yeah, just in case we don't get lost.
Yeah.
Oh, and I did a video on my camera too. And I took some pictures.
Yeah.
Oh, I took some pictures of the. I took a video of the field just in case if we don't get lost. Okay? Yeah.
Okay. That's a good idea.
Yep. Well, bye, people. And we'll see you later, okay? Yeah, I'm gonna turn it off now, okay?
Okay. So Andre and I, we're just finding our way. We found a big patch of red clover. So we'll come back tomorrow and
Tell them who
dig up a
found
whole bunch. You did.
I did, people.
Yeah. There's that sickly holly tree. Where is it? Can you see it? That's what we're going to. That's the one walnut tree. That's an English walnut. They left that one there, but the problem with that, though, people, is it's by itself. So it has no way to protect itself from disease. There used to be a black walnut out here, but they cut that down.
Yeah.
long before these people bought this property.
Yeah.
But there was a black walnut over there, right? I think the black walnut, honestly, is going extinct in the province of British Columbia, Canada. Technically, I should do a little video around the black walnut. Oh, look what I just found. A whole bunch more. So we can scoop up on some of these on the way back.
And now look. That's where the apple tree used to be. Go see if there's some little apples.
No, that's where they had all that stuff. We haven't found any walnuts. Oh.
Dump. Oh. Got some glass.
Yeah. Anyway, let's just go to the walnut tree. You can see it's nestled up against. We'll dig up some of those red clovers because I'm making tea with them, people.
This way?
Yeah.
Hold on.
Isn't my grandson just brave?
Oh boy.
You're brave. Go, go, go.
Hold on. A big red hornet.
Oh, just go past him. Where is he?
Scary.
Hey, you're not scared.
It's red.
It's a red one, eh?
Yeah. And it's big.
Wow. He's matured fine.
Huh?
You're a fine, fine young man, Andre. Yeah.
Here
Nana's proud of you.
Ow.
There it is. It produces, but it's all by itself now.
See some?
It's just a lonely old soul. Okay, watch, there's holes in here. Whew. And then there's that weeping willow.
Here, I'm going to see if I can get on it. I'm going to put this right here.
Yeah, no, they're too young. Leave them because there's only one tree left. And there's not that many.
It's okay.
No, it's not okay. Just let them grow because there's nothing. There's just the one tree all by itself. Just leave it. Nana wants to plant some.
No, it isn't by itself. Look, a weeping willow.
Yeah, I know, but in terms of nuts, that's all it is.
Nano,
So,
is that a syrup over there, tree?
I don't know, but it looks like they've got it marked. Oh, God forbid if they're going to cut this one down too, people. Like, seriously, these people are like savages.
Ah!
You know? The province is burning up. And they're just cutting down thousands. City of Surrey has approved 50,000 trees to be cut down.
They marked it down.
50,000 trees to be cut down. People, there's hammer and nail in there. Isn't that how you kill? Oh, you got it marked. But they're cutting down 50,000 trees in the city of Surrey since the new city council has been in power, and that's less than a year. And this mayor, he said that he wasn't all about this massive, out of control property development that's like out of control. What's happening, people? Hold on a second. What's happening? I think this is recording. What's happening is these land assemblies where they're selling properties 3 to 4 times a year, 10 at a time on individual blocks, and they're branching out to block. Like I said, it's just a matter of time before I take you up into Surrey, further that way, where you see whole blocks have been wiped out, and all they're doing is building monster home after monster home after monster home, where no Canadian, never mind person born in British Columbia, Canada, can afford to buy. Because what's happening is, as these property so-called developers are buying up all the properties and reselling them over 3-4 times a year, pushing old bungalows up to $2 million a piece, and then you multiply that 10 houses to a row, what happens is they can't sell them, right? Nobody wants to buy them at that price. So then these developers, they go to the city and they put a proposal in saying, oh, nobody wants to pay $2 million for an old bungalow, even though we own 10 of them and we knew what we were doing, but they don't, the city doesn't care. So they say, well, here's an application to tear down all these 10 houses all in a row, which they're doing, to build in these condos or whatever they're going to be housing here with old people as they're being flushed out of their homes. They're glamorizing it, people. But there's a lot of Uncle Johns out there that are being illegally detained in these care facilities by foreign workers that barely speak English, if at all, as their assets are being seized one way or another, whether it's through the public guardian trustee or through crooked fucking nurses like Eleanor with Uncle John, because Uncle John was just the bone for Eleanor to go get more Uncle Johns for the system. But of course, you don't hear or see that. What you see is, 120 suites filled up with old people that sold their property to move into that. But as they age, and then when they hit the healthcare system, they go in with a sprained ankle, they never get released, people. Because it will be something else and something else and something else. And because a lot of the time, the family members to these individuals that are being illegally detained within the healthcare system, they want the money. That's all. Like Eleanor, she didn't care about John's feelings. She didn't care about his family. She didn't care about the kids. She only cared about the money. And then these old people, they get put into long-term care facility as they're being forced to sell their now condo, right? Because they're not allowed to go back home. This is happening in the province of British Columbia, Canada. And then as they're waiting to sell their property, they're in a temporary care ward where they're paying $32 a day. So if they're there for 8 months as their property, whether it's a house or whether it's one of these little condos, right, is being sold, they're paying $32. It's like they owe now the government this much money. So when the property sells, the government takes back their money and then they put them into a fucking care home because that's what the end of life plan team decides, that's best for them. As these people that are working the system are eyeballing these little houses to buy more for themselves. Because now they're migrating, so they're coming in with work visas, and then they're settling in for long-term living as they annihilate the people that they're providing services to. And that's the old people going into the system and being medically kidnapped for their assets, as well as the families, the vulnerable families that are being targeted, as in the case of my family. Well, the city is going around cutting down 50,000 trees, 50,000 trees in less than a year as the rest of the province is burning up. Like, there is no future in Canada. Absolutely none. Absolutely none, people. There is, unless you've got money and you're a crook, there is no future. I don't know what to do. My kids don't know what to do. We are living in the Congo. We gotta find that patch so we can grab a few more. At least my grandson will have this memory. Serious. You need hundreds of dollars to be able to go to a campsite just to buy firewood, to be told to put it out. But yet they're cutting down three-quarters of the trees in the cities, bringing in slum buildings that in 50 years from now will be the slums that you see in these countries that these people come from. It just burns my goat, people.
This way.
Like, in 40 years, 30, 20 years, these buildings that they're building, this building will be infested with fucking cockroaches. 40 years, nobody's gonna want it.
This way.
Right? They're putting everybody high dense, right? To live like rats. Okay, I'm gonna dig this out and then we're gonna work our way. I don't think I'm gonna get comfrey done because our time is up here. Tisha's gotta go. Hold on. Okay, people. So, I'm gonna finish this video on this note. Let's just take it back 50 years from now, right? The people that were immigrating to this country back in those days, they had different opportunities. Yes, they faced colonialism, institutional racism. The Punjabis were held out at sea for the longest time until finally the federal government of Canada allowed them to, come to shore. And But at the end of the day, over a period of years, the federal government gave the Punjabi community from India, right, incentives to purchase houses. They helped them to purchase houses, right? So they got help, people, right? And the economy was different. You know, I hear, Andre, please, I hear, oh, you know, I came to this country with $20 in my pocket and now I build monster homes. Yeah, well, that's because when you came, it was like Uncle John. When he started working, he could quit a job today and go get a job tomorrow and make good money because the economy was leveled out where it was the nucleus family, you know. Father went to work and mother stayed home and cooked all day and cleaned and looked after the kids, right? And that's how people paid their mortgages and had a quality middle-class lifestyle. Well, that's all been changed now, right? So as these older immigrants were coming in, like they're old now. They're not old when they came, you know, but they're old now. And like now, so many of them are like full of gluttony. That's because they're just addicted to the money. You know, it's preached through their temples. It's preached through their mosques, because I'm not just picking on the Punjabis. It's like I tell the board director, every group, it doesn't matter if it's Native Americans, it doesn't matter if it's freaking, you know, white people, it doesn't matter, you know, Filipinos, you know, they're all in their little cliques, and, you know, birds of a feather will flock together. They all go back to their own nesting freaking dens, and, you know, every now and then, like I say, they pass each other, and, you know, but at the end of the day, nobody's really helping each other because everybody's on a mission to amass great wealth for themselves. And if they can't do it through an individual, they do it through their ethnicity, right? Like, you got people out here buying up houses not because they want to live in them, but because they're trying to get rich. So, you know, you get anywhere from 5 to 10 guys, you know, throwing in, like I said, $100 to $100, you know, $10,000, $20,000 each. And, you know, they're buying up all these properties, and they're overinflating the taxes, and da-dee-da-da-da. That's the police slowing down. I don't know what that means. I didn't see no car drive by. And, you know, they got help. That's the thing, people. They got these people that own the houses today, 2, 3, 4 houses. When they came to the country, yeah, maybe they did face racism when they first got here, but at the end of the day, the federal government helped them to buy homes, and then just through their networking and everything else, right? You know, now it's different. Now it's different. Now nobody can buy homes unless you're in a certain kind of income bracket. You have to be in a certain kind of income bracket before you can even qualify. If you're making $52,000 a year, which is like below middle class, because middle class is capped at $80,000, you don't qualify to buy nothing. You don't qualify to buy nothing. And so, you know, you're losing, because the median income for the province of British Columbia, Canada, is about, last time I checked, was $45,000. That was a median income in terms of, that's the majority of the population. So where are all these homeowners coming from? If they're building all these homes that nobody can afford to buy, who's filling them up? Where does it leave Andre? Where does it leave Amari? Like, where am I going when I leave this house, people? Like, seriously, you can't afford rent, you can't afford nothing. Nothing. How can I call this my country if I can't afford to live in my own country, people? Because of the gluttony that's been going on through the housing market and through the illegal sales of fentanyl. That's now leaded into, you know, freaking organ harvesting, whether it's being done legally or illegally. It's just pathetic. And it's a vicious cycle. So, like, you know, the Punjabis, for the month of April, one of them, some MP, you know, member of parliament with federal government under the, you know, the Liberal Party with Trudeau, he lobbied the government to put the Punjabi community forward as a discriminated race, as if the people around us are discriminating against them, when in fact they own so much property. And I come across discrimination with them all the time, people looking for houses to house the most in need, in terms of the homeless people that are just being trashed out on the streets, And they don't want to deal with it because that's not their agenda. And the only time they will rent to you is if they know the house is being torn down, because then they don't give a shit. But then they don't help you to curb the violence. They don't help you to control what's going on inside. Because at the end of the day, they know if they leave a drag out for 2 months after the fact of when they were supposed to vacate, the city will come in and do their dirty work for them. Instead of the landlord doing the dirty work, the city will do the dirty work for them and get those people evicted out. As the threat is, it's all on the landlord, but there's a lot of crooked shit going on out here, people. 50,000 fucking trees just in this district alone being cut down just by one mayor who promised that he was going to slow down on this overabundance of unaffordable housing that doesn't benefit anybody unless they're coming in screaming, oh, racism, I'm moving into a racist country, give me what I want, and keep on giving and giving and giving, because ultimately I'm the one that deserves it, while the people that live in the country deserve nothing. I don't know where that cop went. I think he's hiding behind the bush over there. I don't know, Sierra's not doing too well. Seriously, people, she came home with something. I'm just going to end it on this note, because I can go on and on and on about it. I got these red clovers I want to plant around the yard because, dandelion root for tea, raspberries leaf for tea, and you can do the purple clovers for tea. Right? I need to find a way to break away from cheap tea and sugar. I haven't quite got there yet. I'm still collecting. So, but yeah, no, Sierra, what's going on with Sierra is she came home the other day with police, jail garb, and, her, whatever she signed with the court, and they've got her on a $15,000 bail, right? With, a list of charges, because they've got her going in and out of the jail system now as she's going in and out of the hospital, as everybody knows that she's mentally ill, physically ill, just like with Amari. Everybody knows Amari has cerebral palsy, but yet we're supposed to be fundraising for equipment that should be covered under BC healthcare because Amari is a child. Do not fundraise for Amari as a baby. Save it for when he was a man and after the age of 19, when nobody gives a shit about him and just sees him as a commodity in terms of quite possibly organ harvesting people. This is the old people that own these houses now, in terms of the Punjabi community and the Chinese and all them. They didn't come into the country and have to face these issues. There was no organ harvesting 50 fucking years ago. There was no land shortage. There was no out of control housing market. There was no drugs being brought into the community that was targeted against certain individuals so that the whole family at the end of the day could be targeted as in, well, May did it to herself because her sister is a drug addict. Her boyfriend was selling drugs, and she had fentanyl in her system, and it says in her medical files that she was depressed in 2017 after Andre was wrongfully and illegally apprehended through the MCFD because there was a new social worker that wanted to get her first apprehension under the belt. So now, since 2013, what was $1.1 billion in terms of going into that ministry, from what I just recently read, is $2 billion. $2 billion is going into the Ministry of Children and Family Development. And out of that $2 billion, nobody can find the right resources in terms of getting Amari that so-called equipment where I'm required to beg to the Variety Club to get it. And then I said to Tisha, so what happens when he outgrows it? Do we fundraise for it again? How does this make any sense, people? As the immigrants are moving into the country crying racism because life is so hard, even though they're the ones buying up all the property, building the next ghettos. As they're leaving the ghettos from their countries, they're building the same kind of buildings, condensing them like they have them in their own countries, so that 30 to 40 to 50 years, if these cops think they have it bad now, wait till it passes that time, because they will be slums. That's what it will be. They're building future slums, and they're milking every penny out of the poor people as we live in the old bungalows, as they're being torn down, as the old people are being pushed out of their houses, forced to sell their property so that they could either, one, be medically kidnapped and put into a long-term care facility like Uncle John, or take some of that money and go buy, you know, a little condo for, you know, just as much money almost for what they sold their house for, and think that they're secure until they freaking sprain their ankle, and then they end up in the hospital. And because the government doesn't give a crap about what's going on, they just want to make sure the pension plans are paid for the public union sector by any means necessary. It's just one big cycle. Just one big cycle, people. As Sierra's going in and out of the hospital, practically dying, and when she's not doing that, she's being thrown in jail. It's pathetic. It's pathetic. Well, I sit here like a sitting duck. I've been a sitting duck for a long, long time. Because for some reason, Amari doesn't qualify for a chair. Even though he's a baby and he's covered under my medical. Look at her. That's what Tisha was laughing at. Little Leia May. Leia May. Leia May. She's so beautiful. Leia May. She's a beautiful baby. Leia May. Your Nana loves you. Oh, yes, I do. You're a beautiful baby. It's really too bad she lives in the Congo, people. Okay, I'm just gonna end it on this note. Look at these beautiful blueberry bushes. I told Tisha I have to get out here. Look at this one. It's humongous, full of berries. Andre so loves it. This one's a little not too bad. This one here, I need to take out and put it someplace else because it's just gonna die there, right? That one never made it. That cop took off. Anyway, and then the raspberry bush. You know, I don't know what's gonna happen with my life, people. I have no freaking clue. Like, honest to God.